the show floor at CTIA in Orlando, Florida, and I have my first guests with me today. So I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, starting with you, Tom.
Okay, hi, I'm Tom Forsyth. I'm Director of Industry Marketing for Service Delivery Solutions Unit at Telcordiaand.
Hi, good morning. I'm Callum Byers. I'm with AIRCOM International. I run the products business there.
Good morning, Farid Khan from ConceptWave, software from Toronto, focus on CRM and BSS software for telecom operators.
Now, Tom, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
Telcordiaand is a big company with multiple business units. We have an OS division, we have an Interconnect Solutions division. My division, Service Delivery Solutions, looks at how we can deliver services with our customers. So we have a prepaid solution, we have a PCRF, all running on a converged application server, which is an industry telco standard solution for high availability, high capacity.
Great. And Colin, tell me a bit about
So basically, AIRCOM is in the business of optimizing networks, and we do that in two ways. We have a services consulting division, and we provide a whole range of consulting services to operators to enable them to optimize their networks. We also have a products division, which I run, which is a series of different software tools, and fundamentally we provide planning, we provide performance management, and we provide configuration management, and they're all sort of converging together towards the sort of SON horizon that we're all heading towards.
Last but not least, Farid.
So ConceptWave is a software product company. We've been around for 10 years. We focus on giving operators software products in three areas: servicing customers, products, and orders. So that stretches from CRM to the touching gate of OSS. We've got 8 modules based on a common platform, and we've got about 40 deployments so far.
And I mean, I know that there's always a lot of discussion in my field about how operators can avoid becoming dumb pipes. I know that you guys can probably help them out with that a little bit. Can you tell me how and weigh in on that?
Well, if I can start, Sylvie. Yep. The challenge for operators is to be part of the value chain. So they've got to look at the assets that they have and make themselves valuable to the chain. There's no way that they will be getting as of right. So they've got to look at things they can do like charging, billing for micro billing. They can look at the information they have from the network and use that, make that available through open standards-based APIs. Has to be the central solution. That it's about making a large enough market and making yourself open and adding value.
Colin, do you have a view on this?
Yeah, I think the issue that we're seeing is that the business challenge faced by the operators is how do you get the right trade-off between offering almost unlimited data, for example, to your users and the investment you have to get in the network. So the key challenge is how do you provide a quality of service that you can still make money on whilst growing your market. And to do that, you need a lot of information about your network, you need a lot of information about your users, you need information about the experience that they have when they use your network, and then you need to try and correlate that so you understand that this is what a change in the network means to your users, but also this is what a change in your marketing tariffs mean back into your network so you can make the right investment decisions.
I think we saw the operators with the advent of content starting to get into opening up their networks through service delivery platforms and APIs. We see that increasing more and more. So knowing their customer, providing excellent customer service, and the whole customer experience management has to improve. And then things like their product catalog, right? Not only for their internal products and services, but also extending out to partners. So the whole partner management, because they really don't know what the key products are going to be that their customers are going to want. So owning the customer and then being able to provide the right products and services from internally their know-how, but also to partners is going to be very important for them.
So how do you go about creating the ideal service? I mean, tell me a little bit about
the ideal service.
For you.
Well, it's not down to us.
Right.
That's the crunch. The ideal service is defined by people who understand the market. So that's the local marketing teams who really can understand what's suitable in their market. You know, we have customers in Brazil, we have customers in India, we have customers around the world, and the solutions are not the same, or the solution we deliver is the same, but the way it's deployed, the way that we use it to deliver services, and that means that the solution has to be flexible enough to be able to support the views and the ideas that local marketing have. And that's the crunch. It's not there is an ideal service.
Different strokes for different folks.
It's having the flexibility to be able to make those changes, to make them quickly, and to do it continuously, because today's ideal service is tomorrow's forgotten service. You know, it's this model that somebody once gave me of services in a telco being like a skyscraper. And every time you build a new service, all that happens is the bottom floor collapses as it becomes commoditized. So you have to keep differentiating, you have to keep innovating, and that's what's key. That's where our best customers do their best work. It's not we give them a service, it's they use our products to make services, and I'm sure these guys have the same experience.
I would agree with a lot of these points. I think fundamentally it comes down to knowing your customer, knowing how he's using his device, whatever that is, what that impacts on your network, and then being able to create a service that is essentially sticky. If you look at Apple as an example of somebody who has built an enormously powerful brand, an extremely sticky service on the back of iTunes. They're very easy to use, it's very well thought through, and then as a user, it's quite difficult to move somewhere else, but it's also highly profitable. And that's the thing that perhaps sometimes gets missed in the whole equation as you're going after that world-beating service. How do you make sure you actually make money out of it at the end of the day?
For the perfect service, I think the operators will continue with what they've been doing. They're known to provide reliable, quality services out there today, and I think that maintaining that reputation will be key for them. Adding new innovative products and services will again come from the market, but being able to provide some of that local support and then personalization will be key as well.
So Clive, you mentioned Apple and how they have a sticky service that basically makes people want to spend money with them. I think money is key for everyone here at this show today. How do companies today go about increasing ARPU?
So the key thing that we do is really in two parts. One of them is to enable more effective planning of the network, and we do that by increasingly people are doing that by taking live network data. So rather than doing a greenfield, let's do a theoretical model, they take real data from the network and they build a real model of what the network looks like, and then they compare that on an ongoing basis to what they're seeing outside there. So it allows the operator to, if you like, reconfigure the network based on real information. The second thing is really around the performance management, and a lot of this gets back to being able to predict where you're going to see bottlenecks in the network as you add new services in, being able to track that performance, and perhaps most importantly, being able to correlate it with other forms of information. So we're introducing a thing called iView, which is basically an ability to look across a whole set of different data coming from the network, correlate that and provide visibility to the operator so they can then, if you like, make sure that they are offering that best possible service to their end users.
And Tom, what do you think about ARPU and how to increase it?
How to increase ARPU? I guess if I had the answer to that one, I wouldn't be sat here. But there are two approaches that I could talk about. One is, as I've already mentioned, is this drive to have new and innovative services where you can perhaps command a premium before your competitors can catch up. So you keep ahead and you're generating services which are more valuable. You can also look to the enterprise sector, look to high value customers. How do you look after them? How do you give them that experience that keeps them with you? That's very, very important. And the third one, I said there was two, so I lied. The third one is to look at doing different branding. That there are a number of approaches. You could either go with a wholesale MVNO approach, where you can create sub-brands that go after specific market sectors. or you can have your own sub-brands, sort of the way Sprint are doing here in the US, which allows them to go after other sectors but protect their revenues in their main part of their market. Different approaches. That has also been, I guess, championed by E+ in Germany, who are perhaps the leaders in that. Wholesale, lots of brands, lots of sectors. So that's the way to do it, is get those underused segments, keep innovating, and look where the money is.
Do you agree with that?
Generally, I think, added to the revenue per user, it's also profitability. And when you look at services, I think operators are trying to increase the profitability for services. So getting into retiring services that aren't making the money, but also looking at using new methodologies such as Scrum to launch new services a lot quicker and more profitably, and reducing internal costs. So ensuring that all orders are fulfilled perfectly the first time or without errors, and in general services that not only make them more money but are profitable to operate, but also launch.
Now this weekend, I think you were probably all as shocked as we were when AT&T snapped up T-Mobile. Any thoughts on that, and does that affect you guys at all in any way?
So I guess the interesting discussion over the next year or 2 years will be the regulatory side of that, because I think it's going to take a long time for it actually to manifest itself in terms of a new network. I think from our side, they're both important customers of ours, so whatever happens, we see it as being positive.
I think what was interesting was what I thought was, instead of seeing more global networks starting to form, it was sort of a step back into a national network becoming bigger and stronger. So
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's time for more global networks. Roaming's a big area of discussion. So with a global operator, we would have saw things that are already established at a national level go international. But it seems like we'll have to wait for that.
Okay, Tom.
Coming over from the UK, yeah, a bit of a surprise. I think we have to wait and see what the regulator says. That's the first thing. Yeah. We've seen, I think, a reasonably warm acceptance from the market so far. The analysts seem reasonably happy with it. What it does with having one real major CDMA player and one GSM player now in the market, it is very difficult to guess. The UK this morning has announced the 4G license auction, and Ofcom, the regulator in the UK, has actually said in its start for the auctions is they want 4 competitors in there, which is going against what we're seeing in the US. So I'm not sure what it means yet. It's too early to say. Could be good, could be bad, who knows.
Great, and on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. We hope that you have a very successful show and that you'll let us know how it goes for you.
Thank you. Thank you.